Okay, so let's talk about George Orwell's Animal Farm. I know, you've probably heard of it, maybe you even had to read it back in school, but this is not going to be your high school book report. We're going to crack this classic story wide open to look at a timeless warning, a warning about something we all use every single day: language, and how, in the wrong hands, it can be forged into a powerful weapon. I mean, really think about that for a second. Could a clever speaker, just by using the right words, convince you to give up your freedom? To believe something that deep down you know isn't true? Orwell's incredible story isn't just about a bunch of animals on a farm. It's a deep dive into that very question. You know, in the beginning, the language in this story is all about liberation. It's used to paint this incredible picture of a better future, a world completely free from oppression. The dream of Animal Farm, it was built entirely on a foundation of powerful, hopeful words. Just look at the sheer simplicity of that. Old Major didn't come out with some complicated political theory, right? He used these short, memorable, super emotionally charged phrases. He created a crystal clear us versus them. This kind of language with the spark, the thing that united a whole bunch of different animals under one single revolutionary idea. It gave them hope. And then came the anthem. Beasts of England wasn't just a song, it was basically a viral message. The book tells us the animals were in the wildest excitement, and they sang it 5 times in a row. It was catchy, it was simple, and it spread the dream of rebellion like wildfire. This is exactly how a movement kicks off, with a story that everyone can grab onto and share. But here's the turn. Just as words can build, they can also destroy. That dream that was built on hope, well, it starts to curdle into something much, much darker. And the architect of all this destruction is a pig named Squealer, the farm's chief propagandist. And that's not an exaggeration. It's literally his special skill. Squealer is an absolute master of persuasion. He's described as this brilliant talker who, physically skips from side to side, whisking his tail, all while making lies sound not just plausible, but like the absolute truth. He becomes the voice of the entire regime. So what Squealer does, it isn't just lying. It's propaganda. It's a systematic process of twisting information to control what everyone else thinks and feels. And his method is terrifyingly effective. So let's break it down. Squealer's playbook is just a masterclass in manipulation. First, as you can see in step 1, he creates fear. You don't want Jones back, do you? That simple question shuts down all debate. For step 2, he uses jargon, calling Napoleon's blatant theft of an idea just tactics. The other animals have no idea what it means, but boy, does it sound official. Then, step 3, he's constantly rewriting the past, turning the hero, Snowball, into a villain. And finally, in step 4, he claims this false authority, literally inventing science to prove that pigs need special treatment. It's just a relentless assault on the truth. And this, right here, this is how the manipulation happens. It's not overnight. It happens word by word. The unchangeable laws of their new society are just subtly changed. No animal shall sleep in a bed becomes with sheets. No animal shall kill another animal becomes without cause. Each tiny little addition opens up a giant loophole for the pigs, and it erodes the very foundation of their society while the others barely even notice it's happening. Now, if Squealer is the villain of language, the cart horse boxer is its most tragic victim. He really represents the loyal, hardworking citizen who believes so much in the cause but makes the mistake of outsourcing all of his thinking to the leaders. These 2 phrases. This is Boxer's answer to everything. When food is running short, I will work harder. When the pig's actions seem to contradict the rules, Napoleon is always right. These mottos are like his shield against doubt, but they're also his fatal flaw. They completely stop him from thinking for himself. Just look at this contrast. It's so stark. On one side, you have Boxer's absolute, unwavering faith, and on the other, you have the grim reality of Napoleon's tyranny. We're talking executions, rewritten laws, secret police, the whole shebang. Boxer sees the evidence right there in front of his eyes, but his loyalty, his refusal to question, it makes him completely blind to the truth. And his journey is just heartbreaking. He starts out as the strong, hopeful heart of the whole rebellion. He pushes himself to the absolute breaking point for the cause, always believing. Even after watching a bloody purge of other animals, he just concludes the fault must be in them, and the only solution is to work harder. It's this blind loyalty that leads directly to his betrayal by the very leaders he trusted with his life. So, why does a book that was written way back in 1945 still feel so chillingly relevant today? It's because Squealer's tactics, they didn't die with the story. Nope, they've just evolved. I mean, the parallels are impossible to ignore. Constantly blaming a single enemy, a snowball, for every single problem, we call that scapegoating. Using complex jargon to make simple ideas sound confusing, that happens every single day. Rewriting the past to fit whatever you need in the present, well, now we just call that alternative facts or misinformation. The tools are way more advanced, but the playbook is exactly the same. But here is the most important part. Orwell's book isn't meant to leave us all feeling hopeless. It's meant to arm us. The story contains not just the poison, but the antidote too. The whole point of showing us how this manipulation works is so that we can learn to recognize it. The story is a warning, for sure, but it's also a manual for intellectual self-defense. Your greatest protection against this kind of thing is your own critical mind. So, what does this self-defense actually look like? Well, you question the mottos you hear everywhere. You demand evidence for big claims. When someone uses a vague, important-sounding word, you ask them, what exactly do you mean by that? You spot the contradictions. Remember what was said yesterday, or last week, or last year. And above all, don't let fear be the thing that ends a discussion. Boxer's tragedy was that he truly believed that hard work and loyalty were enough. He was wrong. The ultimate lesson of Animal Farm is that protecting a free and fair society takes more than just effort. It requires constant, active, critical thought from every single one of us. And that leaves us with one final and I think crucial question to ask ourselves. In our own lives, in the information we consume from, politics, the media, even in our social circles, who are the squealers? And what are we going to do about them?